YouTube faithful, what's going on? Are you ready to win for Flex Friday? Are you guys trying to get a win today? I don't know about you, but I'm locked in. I've been sitting at this desk since 7 a.m. working on projections, MLB, NBA. They've all been posted. And now, after dropping probably 5 to 7 lineups on Chalkboard, Sleeper, PrizePicks, and my underdog streak, which continues, it's time to cook this YouTube video, which I will talk about 5 to maybe 6 plays today, cross-reference MLB and NBA, and hopefully we can land on the winner. Guys, all I ask, you hit that like button, you hit the subscribe button, and maybe leave your boy a comment with questions, comments, whatever you got. I'm here for it, baby. With that in mind, let's get this thing started. Now, yesterday's YouTube video was a banger, right? I think only one missed. It was absolutely surgical. Sometimes that's going to happen. The main 5-piece or the main 6-man lineup, me and my Discord were sweating. Unfortunately, for the third day in a row, went 5 of 6. Hopefully today it's going 6 of 6. You can see the culprit was none other than LeBron James. I told you guys Curry and LeBron TNT, they were going to go off. Unfortunately, LeBron went off in points, but not rebounds, assists. He just didn't get a lot of rebounds, which is crazy because it's an elite matchup, which I'm going to talk about today with Joker. But this was the 6-man. Unfortunately, we didn't get it done. But listen, a double up is always good. I did double down, and then the 2-man double up from the Gobbies was critical, and I doubled up during the live game. Both of them had a bad first half. That is exactly why you don't pre-chalk and you use the second half method I preach. You will be green. Look at that, baby. Most of you guys were probably taking unders on the second half bets because you're lost in the sauce. Oh, they had a bad first half. Take under. Wrong. You take over. That is how it works. Teach that second half method. So it was a decent day, not a great day. I mean, how do you follow 200 units on April 1st and 2nd? We knew we were due regression, but we did hit that streak. If you're following Captain Crush's streak in the Discord, yesterday it was Danny Avija, first half points, 11.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm 6 or 7 away from greatness, as they say. Hopefully today's hits. And guess what? I'm giving it away right here. I'm going back to Danny Avija, first half points. It's 12.5. You can take his first half, 6.5 points, his first quarter, 6.5 points, or his full game, 12.5. I'm going right back to him. I love the matchup. Denny's a wagon. I have no reason to fear. If he sells, he sells. I'm not scared. I'm riding this all-star train run that he's on until I'm forced off. Now, the only place you can get streaks is Underdog. Use promo code CRUSH, and I will be listing my streak play every day until it busts in the Discord, sometimes on YouTube. But listen, if you're a first-time sub on Underdog, you're going to get 30 days of my cord anyways, so lock in. Links in the description. Now, let's take a look at PrizePicks today. We got MLB, we got NBA. I'm going to try to make this quick. I'm not going to go over too much analytics, but we will be using Pick Finder and Outlier to find our plays today, like always. If you saw Banchero yesterday, first half PRA using Pick Finder, you saw how good that was, which is exactly why on this video I told you guys we're going right back to the well. We're going to use the fantasy sheet and we're going to see what we can find, Papa. We got a lot of games today, man. We got so many options. It's crazy. So we're going to have to lock in and load. Now, first things first, let's take a look at our fantasy sheet today. I don't have Underdog's lines up yet, but I do have PrizePicks. First thing that sticks out, we can see Nikola Jokic has a 2.6 differential from his line on PrizePicks, which is 60, to my projection, which is 62. So that's someone we need to be looking at. Remember, my opinion is that Joker is going to be on a tear to try to get any type of MVP consideration, even though we know Alexander's got it locked up. I still think Joker's got a chip on his shoulder. You can see Josh Giddey, 2.72. Sabonis, a 4-point differential. LeBron James, 2.3. And Evan Mobley with a 4-point differential. Jalen Duren with a 5-point differential. Darius Garland and Nikola Vucevic. And Jared Allen and Mark Williams and Draymond Green. So we see all these, so we can kind of use this to our advantage here a little bit if we want. You can see it gives the usage rate. Look at Joker's usage rate, 30%. Averaging 36 minutes. His fantasy point per minute, 1.8. I mean, the dude's not human, but neither is Alexander. Alexander's no slouch either, man. Let me talk to you for a second. Now, when this was made, some of these lines weren't up yet because it was made early in the morning, but look at Sabonis. 47 projected. PrizePicks has the line at 43. Sabonis, 1.3 fantasy point per minute, 21% usage rate. Cade Cunningham is actually projected to go under today. You can see here, he didn't highlight it. Curry as well, but again, with the late push, I'm going to be fading those. I'm not going to take a lot of unders on the studs during the late push, but I did want to open with that so you guys can see that, and you can find that each and every day in my Discord under Captain's Daily News. It's posted there for you. I see they bumped up my boy Mark Williams to 10. I was on him at 9.5. Now I'm going to leave it to you guys. I think this is going to be a play today that you have to consider. Kawhi Leonard, 23.5 points. Now, his RA, well, that's DeMar DeRozan, but Kawhi Leonard's RA is also in the mix. Unfortunately, for those that don't like to hear that, his PRA could possibly be there, but I think I'm going to go with his points primarily today. He just has too big of a ceiling, and Dallas, believe it or not, being fully healthy, I looked yesterday and I don't think they have a path to the playoffs, or the play-in, I should say. Maybe they do if they win out and everyone loses out. I don't know, but I did the math yesterday and it was looking like they had no path. That's my only fear about targeting any players from there. But Anthony Davis, when I took him last night, he got bumped up by like 2 points. So I'm going to continue to stand by that and hope he hits. Now, there's a lot of potential blowouts on this game, so I'm going to be selective. We saw Evan Mobley. I honestly think DeMar DeRozan, okay, his fantasy score, or it's either him or Sabonis. Sabonis had 43. Remember, I showed you guys the differential. Problem is, do you really think that the Charlotte Hornets are going to be competitive? If you do, this is your man right here. You can go there, or you could eat the bump on DeMar DeRozan's RA at 8.5, or you could just take his 3.5 rebounds right down yonder. 3.5 rebounds versus the Hornets. I could see him getting that. Those would be the two that you would want for that game on that side. But again, the Hornets could just lay down in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3, bang, your night's over. So we got to be selective there. I don't think those are going to go in the main flex Friday, but splishes and splashes, is splish a word? Splash around a little bit, you know what I mean? With those, get a little bit of exposure, especially to Sabonis. And then Evan Mobley, it's the same thing with the Spurs. Last night, his point line was 17.5. Now it's at 18. We saw the differential in the fantasy score. Looks like it's hitting 40 fantasy points. We know he just played the Knicks and had a stinker. I think if he plays a full game, he's getting 40. The problem is he could get gate kept up again. We can look at Evan Mobley's price shop. You see 18 points is minus 132 at 18.5. I got it at 17.5. So maybe just taking the points at 18 and praying that they don't blow out. Another one of these guys you want to have a little bit of exposure to, but you don't want to go all in on it because remember, they're playing scrub teams that could literally just lay down, and that would be a problem. That goes for Emmanuel quickly too, but you could see Evan Mobley, 18 points. If we use Pick Finder, it ain't looking pretty. The only thing that looks pretty is the season 51% and the last 10 average. So you got to know what you're getting into with these guys playing these teams that have nothing to play for. So that I did want to throw that out there to open it up with that, give you guys some options there, but not for anything main slip. Let's go to Outlier real quick, which I also still use because they have their plus and minuses. Like, look, Kings, we can see the spreads, see the money lines. Now we know the teams are making a late push, okay? Teams like that Golden State game last night, it fed, okay? The Denver Nuggets and Minnesota Wolves game the night before, it fed. Now we have the number 1 and number 2 in the West. I believe the Rockets are either 2 or 3 right now. Oklahoma is number 1 by a freaking country mile, baby, because the Thunder are hitting. But I think we're going to be looking at Jabari Smith, believe it or not. He's been on a late push. The Nuggets Golden State Warriors game, I don't know who I'm going to be targeting from the Warriors, but I am 100% targeting the Nuggets. But look at the spread with the Cavs Spurs, 12.5. I mean, we don't want to have a lot of things there. The Lakers, they should make light work of these Pelicans, but I think we're going to have to target some of the Lakers there if we can get good lines. Specifically, Luka, who just put up a generational stinker last night by his standards. And then even with Kawhi Leonard, you can see the Clippers Mavs. I mean, what are we going to do? 11.5 spread. There's really only 1, 2, 3 games that have close spreads, guys. And then with the MLB, everything's still newer. So, but I do give you my blessing for Kawhi Leonard's points, even though it's popular. Obviously, the Goblin's optimal. Okay. If you want to take anything from the first game, it's Sabonis fantasy or DeMar's rebounds, okay, or his RA if you want to eat the bump. So that, and then your bring back, since they bumped Mark Williams, would just be Miles Bridges, 5.5 rebounds, I suppose, maybe his RA if you wanted to, or if you want to eat the bump on Mark Williams rebounds at 9, it was 9.5, now it's at 10, I believe. So you still do have push equity there. You could go right there. Look how popular that play is. That's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. But I I told you, Jabari Smith is going in the mix, right? Where's his lines at? We can see he is at 18 points, rebounds. Now, the problem with him is that he randomly will play limited minutes and get gate kept. Let's use Pick Finder and take a look here and see what we can find. You can see his first half is absolutely insane. 69%. His first half PRA 69% against the Thunder, mind you. That's head to head. Last 15, 93%, 80%. We might have to take Jabari's first half. Hold the phone. Maybe this is the move right here, chat. This could be it. This is the move. I will take Jabari because he does get gate kept. Either one of these two, bang. Let's go with it. And let's find a run back first half or first quarter. Let's see if they left Denny on here. While we're on here, I will give you some more first half plays. Joker PRA, as long as it's at the number we're looking for. Yep, 25.5 or 30.5, always in play. You can always take Joker under 26 first half PRA. That's always in play. So Bonus's first half PRA at 20 is also in play. I don't know if I'm going to take that, but it is in play, and or his fantasy score. I'll let you guys decide on that. For this, we'll put him in as a placeholder. Who's the other one? It's none other than Luka, and he's all the way down to 23.5, and he hasn't been getting it done, but you could go there. But personally, I'm probably going to throw the curveball in and go with Reeves at 15 first half PRA because he's just been doing things that I like. I like watching this kid. I like him. I think you can go there, or you could take the bounce back with Luka. So there's 4 right there. And then let's see if they have a first quarter. Yep, they have Denny Avdija's first quarter. Guys, it ain't sexy. 6.5 is tough, but listen, we got to ride that train. So there you go. You got 5 to choose from. Austin Reeves. You don't want Reeves? Plug in Luka, no problem. You don't want Sabonis? Leave him out of the mix. So you could leave out these right here. These would be my favorite 3. And then my favorite 2 would be this right here. So that is how you structure the lineups. Mix and match them around. Do whatever you want. But guys, let's use Pick Finder and look at Mr. Denny Avdija real quick so I can show you guys what cinema truly is. Now, the only fly in the ointment with Denny Avdija is the head-to-head 16%. It's not optimal. However, range of outcomes. He's on an all-star run. 14, 12, 8, 12, 7. Remember, I like his first half better because he's going to get most of his production in the first half. PrizePicks is gatekeeping it. You got to take that on underdog. But here we go. First half, 6 of 37 have hit in the first quarter. That's not good, but I'm not really afraid of the Chicago. But this is the reason not to take this. But guys, we got to ride this train until we're forced off. I mean, can I get an amen? If they had his first half on PrizePicks, which they might later on in the day, you take the first half. The only reason we're on the first quarter here is because they don't have it. In fact, let's check Underdog Live. And here it is right here. This is the 2-man, my favorite 2-man that you'd want to take for first half. Joker, 25.5 first half PRA. Denny Avdija, 12.5 points on Underdog. That would be the move right there. Again, they have the streaks and stuff. You can use code CRUSH on Underdog, get a free square, get 30 days of the court, and follow me on my streak. Tail this or fade this, but this is the best place to take Denny Avdija, unless you want to just take his first quarter, but that is that. Now, let's see what we can find for full game here, because I don't want to just give you guys volatility on the first half, so I'm trying to make this a quick video. It's already late in the day. I had meetings today, had to set up a P.O. box, had to talk to a couple people about being my video editor for the things I'm trying to do. I'm still looking for a slam dunk video editor that can make engaging shorts based off the content I use and help me make these poker videos. So again, send me the email. I'm trying to make movies, boys. Where you at? There's got to be some of you guys in the mix that are actual real persons and not just AI bots. So real quick on that first half for Joker, first half PRA, look at this. 57% head-to-head, last 15, 73%, 80%, 80%. He would be the only one that I would say you can put in, but look at his fantasy score. Similar players, 0 of 29 have hit the over, okay, versus center at 60. But no, this is the thing with this. Nobody is like Joker when it comes to being a center, okay? That's why they're showing 0. You have to understand the sport that you're playing in the ball, but you can take Joker's first half fantasy, his PRA or his full game fantasy. That would be something you want to get in on right then and there. And then if you don't think they're going to gatekeep Emmanuel quickly, just throw in that right there. Okay? No problem there, buddy. And then where is the Joker? We were just talking about him, the Joker. Giddy's fantasy could be the run back with Denny Avdija's. That game could be good, baby. There he is right there. I love that 1.5 point spread. We could possibly go with Draymond Green, but I'm not doing it. There's going to be somebody that goes off on the other side, but they just played a tough game last night. Probably going to leave it alone. Quickly is so prone to getting gatekeep. But if you do end up on Quickly, you run him back with Duran and call it a day. And then this was minus 150 on Pinnacle. Minus 150. Garland 6.5 assists. I don't love it, but guys, minus 150? Let's take a look at it on Pick Finder and see what we can find. Remember, I'm going to be having that live stream today at 5:30 Central, so make sure you're locked in. Okay, check this out. Last 10, 50%. Last 15, 53%. Heads up, 75%. We're taking them, baby. Let's look at the similar players. Only 11 of 37 have hit, but again, a 7 assist is a large number. I think you can go ahead and put him in. Remember, Joker, it's the first half PRA or the fantasy full game since they bumped his rebounds to 12.5, which was my favorite, him at 11.5. You could take his RA, but I think that's fine right there. And I think we've talked about NBA enough. We're going to talk more about it today on the live stream, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the NBA. I know most of it was first half, but I gave you guys enough. I don't want this video to drag. If you want to get in those live stream today at 5:30 where we hammer it down and make the rest of the lineups, you want my projection sheets, head on over to CaptainCrush.net where I have a few more slots left on this promo MLB for first time user. You can see right here we are trending almost 4,000 subscribers. I'm very thankful to you guys. You guys made all of this possible. But right here for new members, time to sign up. Promo code MLB and you will get $10 off your first month for new members. But remember, the spots on this are limited, and you can see right here there's 50 spots and it's already at 44 as of April 4th, which is today. So there's 6 spots left. So I'm not making it up, guys. Once it's at 50, it's gone. You have till the end of the week. Get in the mix. You'll get my projection sheets, access to the live stream, all of the lineups that I make, all of content, role members, we will all be getting in the mix. I mean, look at this. This was live stream callouts, baby. Rudy Gobert, Curry, Judge, Lodolo, all of this, YouTube. If you follow all 3, you will be fine overall. I promise you guys. And the projection sheets are absolute surgical. Ask Spartan. Spartan, if you're watching, let him know in the comments. So make sure you're there, 5:30 Central. Now let's talk about some MLB. Clear the board from NBA and let's talk about some MLB. Now I'm going to be talking about MLB and it's going to be quick. I'm going to focus on the hitters today. We can see most of those 3 o'clock games are already going, which were my favorites. But guys, it's real simple today with a baseball. We're not doing anything unrealistic, anything crazy. We're going to take a shot on Ohtani versus the Phillies. Jason, my brother, if you're watching this, sorry about them Phillies, but I'm taking Ohtani. You go with Edman, Tommy Edman. If you think they took off his 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, didn't they? Yeah, they did. So let's see if they have one for Mookie. Yeah, Mookie sold everyone the other day. You can go right back to him, man. He went 0 for 4 the other day. You go right back to him. No issue there. Both of these two guys, and it's not even a true goblin, those are fine for MLB. Trust me when I tell you, they have a lot of upside, a lot of equity. And then the other Dodger I would take would be none other than Tio. Tio, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Either one of these 3 are good. You can put them in the mix. They're totally fine. Remember, the data points are still coming in for MLB, so we're pretty much just going off of last year. But Langford, I think you can always target him, especially after he had a floor game. 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. And Christian Yelich for the Brewers. I think you could go with him. I think he had a scrub game last time, but hey, I think you could go with him. And then Brick is going to hate me for this. I tried to, if you're in the Discord, you know, I tried to get in the mix on Soriano for Brick because his Angels. But I mean, I took his fantasy score at 29.5 because I needed to have something for the Angels sweat today on Flex Friday. But I hate to do this to you, Chief, but I don't think he's going to get a full 6 innings. I hope he does because I took his fantasy score, but I think you could take under 17.5 pitching outs. He did just have 21, but realistically, the Angels ain't hitting. So I took over on this, under on that. It's kind of like a little hedge because I don't think he gets, without that 6th inning, I don't think he's going to cash that pitcher fantasy score. So it's kind of like a little hedge, a little bit there. But honestly, guys, you could do worse. And then Max Meyer, 3.5 strikeout goblin versus the Atlanta Braves. I think that's okay. I do have exposure to this. Okay, the Braves, I understand they haven't won games, but don't be fooled. They do have a solid hitter base. In fact, Olsen, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs is something that you could be looking at too in this spot, even though he did just have a ceiling. He is a solid hitter. I don't care what anyone says. And with that, guys, pretty much going to wrap it up. The last thing I will tell you is Lugo projects well via the odds. I don't know why they haven't bumped this line. He's like minus 150. Problem is, he's Seth Lugo. Whenever you take him to go over, he soars under. Whenever you take him to go under, he soars over. That's just what he does. So that's my thoughts on MLB. I wouldn't go crazy today with any of that. It is Flex Friday. Have fun. Be locked in for that live stream at 5:30 Central. Appreciate you tuning in. Here's the salute. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.